5, which was a very important battle in the beginning of the Horus Heresy. So I'll put a link in the description and as a pinned comment to my the video on my other channel, WH40K, which isn't ASMR, but I think it turned out pretty well, so go give that a listen. And I feel like these videos give that channel a sub as well. But anyway, let's get into it here. So, I'm gonna be going over, like the same basic events as the other video, but also kind of taking a look at the images I decided to include and giving some more random details and things like that as we go along. So, the background for the battle is Horus is still getting his Traitor Primarchs on his side. He's getting the Dark Mechanicum on his side, some Traitor Imperial Guards. It's still the early days of the Horus Heresy. The events on Istvaan 3 have just happened, kind of, are just drawing to a close, but that can be a topic for another video. Yeah, Fulgrim, the guy on the right there with the sword, had tried to convince Ferrus Manus to join Horus unsuccessfully. So some news got out there, and also some survivors from a previous engagement with the Traitor Legions had warned Terra. So they're sending a massive armada of 8 Space Marine Legions and some accompanying Imperial Guard and Titans and things. So they're sending the Iron Hands, Salamanders, Raven Guard, Alpha Legion, Night Lords, Iron Warriors, and the Word Bearers, all under Ferrus Manus' command, to engage the 4 known Traitor Legions, which are the Sons of Horus, obviously, the Death Guards, the Emperor's Children, ironically, and let's see which ones. Sorry, I forgot as I was talking. Death Guard. Oh yeah, and the World Eaters. There we go. Under Angron. So yeah, I guess we can go past this screenshot now to give you guys something else to look at. But yeah, Fulgrim is on the right there, and you got Horus right in the middle. Okay, so yeah, the Imperial forces are on their way, and let's see, another shot of Fulgrim and his cool sword there. Let's skip ahead. There we go. So there is a shot of Istvaan 5. Kind of depressing, black, sandy world there. But, so they're gonna make their stand here, Horus. So he gets Fulgrim. This is a shot of Terra. Disregard this for the time being. But, yeah, they're gonna make their stand on Istvaan. And there's some old, like, pre-imperial structures there, some fortifications that they're gonna repair. And Fulgrim and the Dark Mechanicum are gonna build additional defenses around it, bunkers and huge trench networks and all sorts of defenses, void void shields, anti-air, defense batteries, things like that. So they're really building it up. This is going to be their stand. And the loyal forces know that they're there. I think Fulgrim had let that slip. So yeah, here's the Imperial fleet headed on their way there. And the attack was going to come in 2 waves. So 3 of the loyal forces here. There's Ferrus Manus. So the Iron Hands, the Salamanders, and the Raven Guard. That's Ferrus Manus, Vulcan, and Korax. We're going to be the first wave, since they were going to get into the system first. And they wanted to strike with speed and overwhelming force in this attack, so that they could catch the traitors before they were ready and destroy them in one shot. So they would land first and engage, and then the second wave would come in and kind of relieve them and then take up the fight. But the Imperial Fists were never able to actually make it to the system because of warp storms. So that only leaves 7 legions right off the bat. And then, so when they get to the system, there is no enemy navy, which they just kind of write off as, they've caught them off guard. Maybe Horus has tried to, he's assumed that he's safe and not going to be attacked this early, and he's sent his fleet elsewhere on a tactical gambit type thing that is not uncharacteristic for him. So they write it off. They said, okay, we're lucky. They do a brief orbital bombardment of the enemy defenses there over here. And I guess unbeknownst to them, but they're dug in really well here, and they don't suffer hardly any casualties from it. And here shows the deployment. So you got the Raven Guard taking up the right flank and sweeping around here, and the Iron Hands coming right down the middle, taking the brunt of the forces on, and the Salamanders taking on the left here. And here's where they dropped the bulk of their support stuff and big vehicles and things, and then here's all the drop pods landing here. So it'd be drop pods and mostly landers and things like that. And then as part of some the second wave, they would be landing behind them out here. It's not shown here. But yeah, you have I think there's a Titan Legion here, some Imperial Army here, and here. Oh, and here. So that's a good chunk of Imperial Army, although they're mentioned a lot less than anything else. But I think in the book somewhere it just mentioned that this battle was on such a huge scale and so violent that the human people were just losing it out there. It was too crazy. But yeah, so we'll continue on here. So that is the first wave plan. And alright, so that's them transitioning out of warp into the system. Like I mentioned before, we'll go a little bit. There's Vulcan. Like I said in the Primarch one, with his darker skin, that's eyes and stuff. This guy's mohawk is kind of over the top, but he has some cool gear. Looks like something that you get out of, like, I don't know, the level 60 raids in World of Warcraft or something. But we'll fast forward a little bit here. So the fighting is just absolutely crazy in this battle. There's, like I said, like right off the bat, there's gonna be 4 Traitor legions and 3 loyal legions engaged in fighting. They got all these drop pods raining down out of the sky right in amongst the enemy defenses and in the craters and things. Or the Ungral Depression is technically where they are, so they're kind of up on a hill overlooking this like plateau or valley, but it's like all kind of lowland here. So, and then I think it's like mountains all over here and higher ground behind them and to the sides. They're landing right into this depression right here. And yeah, the fighting is crazy. That's supposedly like hundreds of thousands of Space Marines involved in this one battle. And this like the biggest battle, definitely up until this point, of Space Marine on Space Marine. And you got your Titan legions coming here. That's a cool. I always like, I don't know, with any other like universe, you don't get these just ridiculously massive battlefields and really cool artwork like this. So the casualties are just crazy on both sides. The battlefield, you know, here and there, both are gaining ground. But ultimately, neither side's really gaining too much. It's battlefields ebbing back and forth. But you got the Primarchs there in the thickest of the fighting. So I guess you got Ferrus Manus back there, it looks like, with his hammer. You got Fulcrum up there with his sword. You got Vulcan up here. And I guess that might be Angron. I think he wields 2 axes like that. But, so yeah, they're trying to fight their way out of this, plateau, this valley that they're in, and they're storming trench lines and things. I remember, which book is it? I forget exactly which one it is. It might be Vulcan Lives, or it might be, one of the, might be, I think it was told from Fulcrum, in the book Fulcrum, from his point of view as well. That may be where I got a lot of it. Probably. I think it was a Graham McNeil novel, but that goes into a lot of detail with the different sides taking trenches from each other and using heavy weapons, and things are just crazy. There's Space Marines exploding everywhere. Fulcrum's forces are kinda, I think they fell the fastest to chaos influence. I feel like a lot of the other Traitor Space Marines were just Space Marines fighting for Horus, just against the Emperor, like still fairly normal at this point. Maybe the Word Bearers might be one that is changed already, but Fulcrum's forces changed very quickly, pretty soon before this battle, but they like had some like genetic modifications they did that they took from like other species, where they could do like sonic like battle shout things that would just kill or disorient their enemies. They had new technology for like sonic blasters and sound cannons and things, and that would turn into the noise marines that you see mentioned or in video games or in the tabletop. And they had, I think they may even had some demons with them or something. I think that's mentioned in the book Fulgrim, that they unleashed some demons, and just their people were kind of crazy, chaos influenced at that point. So just picture a super crazy battle, even by Warhammer 40K standards. Yeah, and here is a good representation of the battlefield here. So they're kind of in these like lowlands, and you have these rising fortifications on the other side, and networks of trenches and things, and just all these vehicles and men trying to charge this. And they obviously have, you know, just lots of infantry and tanks and stuff down there, and cannons on the defenses and things, and artillery behind it, and just heavy weapons, titans of their own, presumably probably like some air force of their own too, although that's not mentioned, but they at least have anti-aircraft defense batteries, but who knows. Pretty much everything that both sides could possibly add was represented to some extent here. So I just like this view because you get kind of like almost in the trenches here looking at them charge. Yeah, just the scale of this battle is kind of unimaginable, because by Warhammer 40K, each legion total is only like 1,000 Space Marines in total, and they're always like split up at different areas at a given time, so they're not even dedicating like a full chapter's strength. So these legions are all like 80,000 of them. So that's just crazy. Alright, so you got the battle in full swing here. Drop pods are continuing to rain down from fleets in orbit. They're still landing things. Battle is picking up. And then the second wave arrives. So there's 4 other chapters land behind the first wave, as the plan was supposed to work. And the Salamanders and the Raven Guard begin to fall back, as was the plan. They're supposed to kind of swap places, tag out. The second wave was supposed to continue the assault. Horus's forces, seeing the additional Space Marine legions land, his forces start to do a tactical retreat. They're pulling out of the crater. They're pulling back into their fortresses. Their more secure spots. So Ferrus Manus is not having it, though. He's like, "Come on, guys, we're winning. They're falling back. We can't let them regroup. We gotta push in there right now." And Vulcan and Korax are like, "No, that fighting was super heavy. That cost us a lot. We're, low on ammunition. We have wounded. Let's stick to the plan. We gotta get out of here." So both of them follow the plan and fall back, but the Iron Hands and Ferrus continue pushing in after the retreating forces. Specifically after Fulgrim, because he has a bone to pick with him. single flare goes up from Horus's line, though, and the second wave, which was preparing its defenses, it's securing their own land sites or landing zones, and they see the two chapters, or the two legions, sorry, the salamanders and the Raven Guard. They're falling back. They're weary. They're carrying their dead and their wounded. And all four of the second wave legions open fire on the retreating soldiers, mowing them down. And yeah, the second phase of Horus's plot is revealed. So the Night Lords, the Word Bearers, the Iron Warriors, and the Alpha Legion are all revealed to be on Horus's side. So yeah, you can imagine how Vulcan and Korax and all those guys must feel right there. They've already done so much fighting against people that were formerly their allies. Some of the champions on the battlefield identified themselves, or they recognize each other, they're fighting each other. But yeah, they've just fought them, and then they pull back, and when they're supposed to be relieved and be done with it, the battle's supposed to be drawing to an end, really. And then they're fighting on a new front, and they're definitely not ready for this. So they're losing a lot of people really quickly, and they have to fight their way back to their own landing sites. And the retreating forces, obviously just feigning a retreat, turn around and surround the overcommitted Iron Warriors, and they're quickly outnumbered and destroyed all of his elite troops. He had an elite Terminator squad, or a lot of squads, but elite Terminators was his thing, heavily armored. But all of them are destroyed, and he engages Fulcrum in one-on-one combat. And they have some epic dialogue back and forth. Remember, one of the quotes out of it was, I think, Ferrus Manus says to Fulcrum that he's like lost the right to call him brother. He's just a traitor and the worst thing imaginable, you know. But they fight, and Ferrus Manus loses and gets his head cut off, I believe. And Vulcan is he's saying we gotta fight our way back to the landing pads and, you know, make a stand there and get everyone together. And Korax is like, no, this is lost already. We have to just get out of here as soon as we can. So they're both fighting their way out. You know, they're marching back through this. It's already just a complete wasteland littered with bodies and blown up tanks and everything. So I really like that these two pictures exist, where you get like the before and kind of like the after here. But yeah, they're fighting their way back. And Vulcan is well, maybe I'm getting a little bit out of myself. Let's see what's the next picture. Oh, here we go. Here's a good picture. Yeah, here's a Ferrus, and who has a fire sword in this one instead of the hammer, but against Fulcrum. And I always like the little detail in the background in all these Warhammer 40K pictures. You got so much planes and titans and tanks and infantry all the way down. go. That's what I wanted to see next. So yeah, you got the word bearers here. You got the Alpha Legion. Is this like a Hydra? The Iron Warriors right here. And where is the other one? The Night Lords are over here. So yeah, they just land on the high ground all around them and are just pressing in from every side. So yeah, there's nowhere they can run. Their dropships, their stormbirds, and things like that are mostly destroyed. Their fleet in orbit is pretty much destroyed as well. The fleets of the other 4 legions that came in were outnumbered the loyal fleets at this point. So very few of those 3 loyal Space Marine chapters were able to fight back to ships and actually get off planet immediately following the battle. So yeah, a lot of them are just getting destroyed on the planet. Vulcan manages to, consolidate. They're making a last stand and actually doing some damage to the enemies, even though greatly outnumbered. And this is actually the book cover of Vulcan Lives, I believe, which I just think is really cool. Vulcan's already known to be like the Primarch that most cares for his people, I would say, and just definitely just imperial citizens and humanity in general. So you can just see him languishing here at this treachery and the loss of his entire legion. Pretty much he's kind of cradling that one of his soldiers in his arms there. And yeah, I just think it's a cool shot here. Man, it just kind of emphasizes how it looks like he's kind of holding a child. The Primarchs are, the Space Marines are just head and shoulders way taller than a normal human, and then the Primarchs are that, even more than that to the Space Marines. They're 3 times that. So yeah, he's making, Vulcan that is making a last defense, but then he gets bombarded, he gets tactically nuked, and that ends the salamander resistance on the planet, and he survives that and is captured by Conrad Kurz of the Night Lords. Korax, on the other hand, is able to, I think at first he tries to take off in a ship and leave the planet, but that's gunned down, and then he survives that and regroups some of his legion and breaks through the stranglehold they're forming around the Ungro, not Ungro crater, that's World of Warcraft, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? The plateau they're in. But yeah, so he breaks out, and I find it kind of hard to believe, but they evade detection and kind of go into hiding, and are kind of taking out some of the people looking for him. But for a long time, for months I think, and then eventually one of his own ships kind of breaks through later and picks him up. But out of that battle he has 3,000 of his Raven Guards when he brought 80,000. So that they're pretty much destroyed there in Warhammer 30K terms. That's not a lot of Space Marines. For Warhammer 40K, that's still a lot. But I assume that Horus just had bigger fish to fry, so he probably moved on without dedicating too much to tracking down Korax, but I don't know. Maybe he just assumed he was dead and it was just stragglers that had survived. Because I think Korax has some kind of like stealth technology or something. But yeah, so he ultimately survives, but other than that, very few got off, very few salamanders survived, less than the Raven Guard, and even fewer of the Iron Hands made it, since a lot of them were in the, following Ferrus Manus all the way to the end. So, this isn't from that battle, this is like maybe the siege on Terra. That's what I took it to be. But the way I worked this in is with, this battle was very bad for the Loyalist forces. It definitely, losing those 3 legions and gaining more on Horus's side tipped the balance strongly in Horus's favor and really left the Imperium open to an attack on Terra by Horus, which would definitely be coming in their future. So, that is an overview, pretty much, and really more than an overview, just I went into some more details about it. About the Istvaan 5 drop site massacre. This actually isn't the video I was intending to make originally, and set out to make, but this is just such a cool battle, and I was doing some research on it extra to work it into the other video I had planned, and decided that it should just have its own video before the other one. So, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. And these Warhammer 40K videos in general. I definitely really like making them, even though they're a lot of work. But it's fun work. Alright, well yeah, leave a like or a comment. Let me know how you think this video was. And I'll see you next time.